going, everybody? How are you? Well, it's more so. It's not really about the food. It's more so about the vote when we buy it via the POS system, via supply and demand, because it's an inherently violent, oppressive system. And I'm just out here trying to percolate a little awareness on how the vote with the dollar is more important than the vote with the ballot, just as per supply and demand and the mechanisms underneath everything. Mainstream media will never be out here, admitting to any of these things. But have you guys heard the word vegan before?
Absolutely.
So no meat, cheese, milk, eggs, seafood, honey, no products.
Do you follow Tabitha Brown?
I know. I've seen her picture in Target. I think she has some products out there.
She's
Fantastic.
A ambassador for Target, but she also has her own vegan restaurant.
Yeah,
She has very good digital content.
Is she a little older?
Yeah.
She looks phenomenal,
Oh,
right? Yes,
But
yes.
She has her seasoning
Yeah.
without salt.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Straight vegan.
Yeah,
Everything
and
vegan.
she's
All good vegan restaurants and everything.
she's a microcosm of basically what is possible, when it comes to, vegan food. Like you can find meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, but the vegan version of healthier, much less underneath the kind of the buying of it, than buying meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. There's a lot less violence incurred, and you're just, you feel lighter when you go vegan. You feel a lot lighter.
Plant-based everything.
Yeah, yeah. In 2024, we know, I've been vegan about 11 years now, and we know through the Academy of Dietetics and Nutrition, the guys that certify registered dietitians, they even lament on their website that from infancy to elderhood, you can be vegan, and the only thing you need is B12, vitamin D, and a few other well-planned things. But I don't even look at my stuff anymore. It's been 11 years, and it's the easiest thing in the world once you've been doing it for a while.
It is a lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle change, but it's like you recalibrate, and there's a bit of an innovation curve. But once you get past that, like 15-day, 20-day, it gets so easy, and you start feeling lighter. And you start just looking better. I feel like I lost probably 25 pounds when I went vegan, just boom, instantly. And you guys look great, by the way. You guys look great, by the way. But it's more so not really about the food and nutrition or the environment. It's more so about that the vote with the dollar, because it's a vote for systems that are inherently violent and oppressive. And the more we keep voting for these energies into the world, the more we're going to see them. And it kind of proliferates in a very macro fashion. And the reason I'm doing this is because you'll never see, something like this via mainstream media. And we now have social media, me and my friends, and we can lever social media, and we can start proliferating awareness and get people to think about the dollar as the vote, not the ballot per se. But so if you guys knew that you could get everything you could possibly need for your nutrition on a vegan diet, would you consider it? Yeah, it's tough with the tastes of certain things.
Yeah, my husband is a taste as a food, and I'm more just
Yeah.
he's a food. He would be like, this doesn't taste good. This
Yeah.
is bland and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Tabitha Brown has like recipes, and she's like, if you use cauliflower for this, or if you use a mushroom, you can have a mushroom burger.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a hamburger.
And that's a very healthy way to go, right? I'm not a very health conscious vegan. I don't know why I'm coughing like this. They're out to get me. Someone's got some technology on me right now. Yeah.
Normally when you say, "Oh, they're about to protest, they're about to make this," that's what I was thinking. I should have
Yeah.
instead of coming to you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You're not forcing opinions on what we still believe in, but
No forcing of opinions at all. But I do like to let people know when you do buy meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, you are forcing opinion on the animal. I mean, if you think about it, that animal doesn't necessarily want that to happen.
Exactly.
They might not be as sentient as us, but they want to live their lives. We know that. I have a dog, or I've had a dog, and I know that dog wanted to live his life. They're getting me. Yeah, but so I have a few cards if you guys want to take them.
Yeah.
Here's one for each of you. I just wrote some things down to hand out tonight.
No, so I take
Sure. One is Challenge 22, and Tabitha Brown's stuff might actually be on there. And he has a bunch of recipes and different questions that are asked about nutrition and different kind of things that I've ordered on. And the other one's a speech with a guy named Gary Yourofsky. He was an animal rights activist for years, and he did speeches across universities across the country for like 5 or 6 years. And I watched his speech the first time on YouTube, and I rejected it immediately. But then I watched it again the second time, and it's so full of truth I couldn't not. So it took me a little while, but it was the game changer for me, and that's why I like spreading that speech, because it's made so many people vegan with prompting thought and connecting with food. Really connecting with food.
So how do you eat sweets like cake stuff like that?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Like,
You don't have dairy.
yeah, everything. Like, you go to Whole Foods right now, you can find a whole cupcake section, all vegan.
Got it.
They're just using, they're not using animal milk or honey or eggs or anything like that. Like, if you look at aquafaba from chickpeas, perfect egg substitute. Me and my wife, my daughter, when we cook, we're using that for like the baking and stuff like that. And there's so many other things that are great seamless substitutes as well, like flax seeds. If you put flax seeds, have you heard of this? Yeah, great egg substitute. Great egg substitute. As far as meat goes, and well, I'll go back to the sweets. Like, there's really no void at all, because a lot of sweets inherently already are vegan. So they might not be the healthiest thing in the world, but they're part of if you want to enjoy your life. Like, I'm not a health vegan. I'm more of a junk food vegan. Ask any of my friends, even my vegan friends, they make fun of me because I like all like the textured vegetable proteins, the meat analogs. I'm all about it. And you'll hear a lot of information from industry down talking these meat analogs like Impossible, Beyond, Gardein, and do your best to take that information with a grain of salt, because there's agenda behind proliferating that kind of negative speak about meat analogs. They have no cholesterol, they have no saturated fat, they have no hormones, they have no growth factors, no IGF-1, and the ingredient lists are getting smaller and smaller and smaller as years go by, because they're figuring out ways to get rid of these processed items.
So no GMO either, right?
Well, Beyond Meat has no GMO. Impossible Foods does have GMO, so you can find ones without GMO. But Beyond Meat's probably the healthiest right now. As per their new recipe, they shortened their ingredients from like 20 items to 12. They put avocado oil instead of seed oils, and they lowered the sodium and added fava beans and lentils.
That was the main thing I had about that.
Yeah.
The sodium part.
Yeah.
That's like, okay,
same with my dad. Yep.
Can't eat it, too much salt.
Same with my dad, and it can exacerbate heart conditions too. But the big boy that is the main culprit is the saturated fat. The saturated fat is the thing that and causes type 2 diabetes. People are going to say sugar. It's not sugar. The catalyst is saturated fat. It gets inside this muscle cell called the intramyocellular lipid. It blocks insulin from going in. Insulin can't get in the keyhole, has to spike, creates those intra-anatomical kind of type 2 diabetic mechanisms going on. But the sugar exacerbates it. But saturated fat is like ubiquitous in animal products. And once you get rid of that saturated fat, you'll see huge differences in just how you feel, your BMI, just your general energy. But I'm going to put the pressure on you guys. There's something on there called Challenge 22 where you can look up Challenge 22 and it'll give you all kinds of, yeah, for sure. But, every day that you're not vegan, you're contributing to these systems. So I know it's hard to hear, and I'm not judging you. I'm trying to defend them, and I'm trying to just soft float ideas to people that are real and that will make people think. So my name's Jimmy, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. Fred and Ty, can I shake your hands?
Sure.
Thanks so much for stopping by.
Absolutely. Take care.
Really appreciate you guys.
So tell me what you know about Jesus.
Jesus. So I'm not the biggest religious person in the world.
It's not about religion.
Yeah, but I can tell you one thing. One of the most, the most moral man that ever walked the earth, from my understanding. I think everything to look up to. And one thing that I love about Jesus is the golden rule. He was a big proponent of the golden rule, and that's huge. And that can be applied everywhere. Do unto others as you would want done to yourself. And that even applies here. Absolutely. If you think about that, even applies here. There's so many synchronicities, right? Garden of Eden. I call it the Garden of Eden. Pretty much was the Garden of Eden. Was his perfect utopian paradise. I'm taking notes. But I think Jesus is unbelievable. Love him. I think he's unbelievable.
Amen. Well, you take care of yourself. Thank you for the speech.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Have a great night. See you guys later.